beloveds. Welcome to Ascension Live. I am Astarius Miraculii, loving you so much. Today's subject is full moon. Today, we have a full moon in Aquarius. And we're also in the resonance of the Lion's Gate. So it's a very powerful energetic that we're dealing with. When the moon is full, the sun and the moon are in opposition with each other. And it's a very intensified emotional time. With the moon being in Aquarius, Aquarius is the resonance of freedom. Aquarius is the sign that rules humanity, aka the universe. And so it's a freedom-oriented frequency. And therefore, with the moon being there, which is so resonant with emotionality, then we feel a lot of emotional sensitivity about the ways in which we don't have the freedom that is important to us. And we can certainly become that much more passionate about bringing that freedom into play. This full moon is also woven into a T-square, so while the moon is full, meaning that the sun and the moon are in opposition with each other, and it was exact about 9 hours ago. And the planet Uranus, which is the natural ruling planet of Aquarius, is in the sign of Taurus and is squaring the full moon. A square is a relationship between planets that offers a certain tension. And with Uranus being in the mix, that's even a greater amplification of this energy related to freedom. There's always big emotionality with full moons. Moon represents family as well, and so there's great initiations that can take place in the area of family. Because while the moon is in Aquarius and full there, the opposite is the sun in Leo. Leo is playfulness. And so a lot of our antidote for transcending the difficulties that we're dealing with is to engage in the lightheartedness and the playfulness of the frequency of Leo that brings in the resonance of the child as well as the inner child. There can be erratic emotions with Uranus being in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the sign of values and valuables. And Uranus brings sudden and unexpected change, and so we're experiencing a change in our value system, and of course we can see that within the world at large right now. Sun represents God, moon represents goddess, and so this is a wonderful time when the moon is full to dive down into an activation of that relationship of the God-goddess principle inside of us. And also with the Aquarian and the Uranian frequency there, which connects to the oneness of the wholeness, it can be an access code to the all that is, a way in which we can dance more intimately with the whole universe. So with all that having been said, I'm going to offer some didgeridoo specifically to bring a resonance of sonic healing for the balancing of everything that needs to be balanced relative to this full moon. And I'd like for you to be in partnership with me, co-creation with me, and offer all of the healing resonance that you know, and imagine that all of the healing that is, was, or ever will be in the whole of the world is now coming into harmonic convergence with this healing intention. Feel it all the way down to the deepest cells within your body. Hey God, hey Goddess, hey man, hey woman, hey God, hey Goddess. My being knows no limit, I am God within. And so are you, horizon of this moment with eternity I blend. Every space is here, every time is now. Everyone is me, full awakening of eternal remembrance. Blessing now I be. Immortal hands, immortal body, immortal energy, immortal healing. I as God and God is due. Oh, that they will ever do. All that they will ever do. Ascended clan, I'm calling you to guide me on my way back home. I deeply yearn to now return and claim my ascension throne, the fifth dimension and beyond inheritance. Above the sky, to heaven's call I now respond. In higher realms forever fly. Ascended clan, I ask for this, not only for myself. Let every being upon this earth partake of heaven's wealth. Even unto earth herself she also would return, to end the madness of this flesh. A fire within us burns. Please help us to remember that we all are innocent, and by mercy and compassion unto heaven we are sent. Resurrection of ascension, and God is found in man and woman, and we all are family members of the great ascended clan. The love of God within my heart has healed and set me free, a love that is because I am therefore I love me. Among the great ascended clan, I am eternally. Among the great ascended clan, I am eternally. Now I'm getting everything set up because this feels like a spirit rap day. I'm going to do spirit rap because it just feels like it's really important to bring forth that frequency to facilitate balance in this full moon energy, as well as the whole world initiation that we are in. So here we go. Let me bring it in. Spirit rap, my top selling album out of all 22, released in the year 2000. Okay, spirit rap. Track 4 is what we want. Mr. Mrs. Technology, behave yourself. I love you, beloveds. I invoke decree and dream awake the full cellular ascension of my being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, in this now, with the full support of God, Goddess, the Ascended Master Realm, to include our Ascended Master Self, Father Saint Germain, Sananda, the Holy Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Goddess of Mercy, Archangel Michael and the legions, Ashtar and the entire command, Babaji, Raphael, Gabriel, clan of the trumpet angels, Aboriginal and tribal shaman, goddesses of fortune, angels of light, Elohim, clan of the serpents, Shiva, all Christ frequencies, all animal totems, elementals of fire, air, water, and earth, all divine beings of light, love, and ascension, named and unnamed, to activate the cells within my being who are your counterparts with the unified power of the One. I decree my highest good always operating in this now. I decree grace and mercy always operating in this now. I invoke, decree, and dream awake the full truth and reality of ascension in this now. I invoke and dream awake with every breath that I breathe the violet fire transmuting my whole being. I invoke and dream awake the full current of ascension in every cell of my being. I am ascended. I invoke and dream awake expanded God consciousness fully realized in me as unlimited abundance fulfilling my every need and desire. I invoke and dream awake the ending of procrastination, tiredness, blockages, obstacles, and unhealthy belief systems. I decree immediate abundance in my life. I invoke and dream awake my liberation from all karmic debt. I am infinite opulence. I invoke and dream awake my personal empowerment in every instant that anyone is impacted by my being and creations. I invoke and dream awake the infinite empowerment of my sexual, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial relationship with life. I invoke and dream awake sacred sexuality, erotic innocence, and always express the sacredness of sexual force for pleasure, creativity, and healing. I invoke and dream awake world universal healing from all sexual woundedness and shame. I invoke and dream awake worldwide release of all manipulating forces and beings who would control humanity past, present, and future. I invoke the angels and ascended masters to realign and heal all misused energy, to include the full restructuring of our DNA. I invoke and dream awake the transmutation of all negative and judgmental projections. I invoke and dream awake my constant ability to be centered and balanced in my psychic perceptions and empathic nature. All overwhelming psychic energies are released by me automatically, easily, effortlessly. I am empowered by everything. I invoke and dream awake my lucid dreaming each night I sleep and total remembering when I awake. I invoke and dream awake my infinite harmony with God, Goddess I am. I invoke and dream awake the full expression of my miraculous healing power. My life is a continuous stream of miracles. I invoke and dream awake my infinite ability and willingness to receive all life's blessings. I invoke and dream awake a constant attitude of gratitude for my whole life, all my accomplishments and blessings, including the same for the universe at large. I invoke and dream awake the full blessings of God, Goddess, the ascended masters, angels, guides, and beings of light to bless this earth. I invoke and dream awake all my decrees, invocations, and prayers I have released to the universe and open myself to God's response, support, and love in my highest good. I invoke and dream awake the release of all past, present, and future lifetimes of decrees and vows which would bind me to limitation, lack, density, and anything not of ascension in this now. I invoke and dream awake the full reclaiming of my eternal self as powerful, loving, and fully aligned in abundant God consciousness. I invoke and dream awake the total dissolving of all manipulating forces which would bind this earth plane in fear. I invoke and dream awake the influence of the ascended master realm and angels to intercede and raise the vibrations higher, to bring darkness into the light, raising the frequency of love and God consciousness on planet Earth in this now. I invoke and dream awake the ascension of planet Earth in this now. I invoke and dream awake the ascension of my soul and your soul and planet Earth in this now. All is well in the kingdom of this sacred now moment. As I get my ducks in a row, there's some other music I want to get. And I thank you for holding space for me, beloved, giving me a moment to work this technology out. I'm looking for a particular piece of my music. There it is. Going up here, grab it. Right there. And then coming over here. All is well in the kingdom of this now moment. Thank you. Okay, so that was Spirit Rap. And I want to break it down a little bit, talk a little bit about just what it is that is being declared in Spirit Rap. And in the beginning, I invoke, decree, and dream awake the full cellular ascension of my being. There is a resonance of cellular ascension within each and every one of us. Even when we're not in the outer conscious awareness of the ascended reality of our being, in the inner sanctum of our cellular matrix, the ascension is alive and well. So we want to invoke and dream it awake. You see, we can dream awake, just like we can dream asleep. But here we want to dream awake the realities that we want. We want to dream awake all of the angels and ascended masters, Father Saint Germain, Sananda, the Holy Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Goddess of Mercy, Archangel Michael and the legions, Ashtar and the entire command, Babaji, Raphael, Gabriel, clan of the trumpet angels, and on and on and on in that way. So when we're calling upon all of these beings, all of these ascended masters and all of these angels, we're actually calling upon the macrocosmic extension of our own self. Anytime we call upon a higher dimensional being, and that being comes to us, there is internally an activation of the cellular counterpart that we carry within, that is the total journey of that higher dimensional being that we call in. Just like looking at the movie, you experience the movie on the screen, and yet the movie is really in the projector. And so all of the realities that we deal with in the whole of life exists within the soul projector of our being, and we experience it all out there on the screen of our life and what seems to be the outwardness of our life. But everything that is outward in our life is generated from something that is within. See, I invoke and dream awake with every breath that I breathe the violet fire, transmuting my whole being. The violet fire is the purple transmuting flame, which is actually the flame of the Holy Spirit that brings about a purification. It's actually the flame of alchemy. The alchemy, which is the way in which we transform base metals into gold, transform poison into potion, transform darkness into light. And that's the frequency of the violet flame. It can transform all of the negatives into something that is healthy and positive and works on our behalf. So we definitely want to be in alignment with that violet flame, and we want to be in alignment with the reality of our ascension. We want to bring our awareness to come into alignment with the fact that we are eternally ascended, because we're never not ascended, but we do go into unascended awareness where we're not aware of the exaltation of our ascended being, and then we walk around as if we're unascended beings, when at the same time the greater expanse of that eternal resonance of our nature is in the full bloom of the ascension. And then when we come into the ascension, what happens is every ascension that is, was, or ever will be flashes before the eyes of our soul. And as we experience the individualization of ascension, we also experience the multi-dimensionality of ascension, because there's never more than one, and the one is always an exemplification of the all that is, because all of life is a great many-facetedness of one great being, and each one of us are a focalization as our own version of the absoluteness of being, the oneness of the wholeness of being. I invoke and dream awake my liberation from all karmic debt. I am infinite opulence. It is really important that we rise above feeling a sense of karmic debt, feeling a sense that we have to pay for this or that wrong that we have done. The difficulty lies in the fact that we guilt ourselves and we shame ourselves. When we make a mistake and it hurts badly, or we hurt another person, if we can come right into that resonance of the forgiveness. In that forgivingness, then we're able to learn everything that we were meant to learn from that mistake. You know, that thing that we did unto ourselves or that we did unto another. And once we learn all that we were meant to learn from any situation, any painful thing, it outlives its usefulness, moves out of the way, and makes room for something else of greater brilliance. And so let's release and dream awake our release from all karmic debt and be in the resonance of infinite opulence, because we are all billionaires of being. I invoke and dream awake my personal empowerment in every instant that anyone is impacted by my being and creations. See, even if someone is impacted by you or me in a negative way, you know, we can invoke that we are empowered. Even when someone is responding in negative or malicious ways, we can invoke that we are empowered by everything, even that malicious response to us. Because in our divine alignment, then we pierce to the eye of the storm of that maliciousness, and there will be pristine purity. Because purity owns the center of everything. Go to the center of maliciousness and you'll find pure light. There is nothing piercing to the center except that which is light. That's why it's characteristic in the storm that there is the eye of the storm, the eye of the hurricane, a place of pristine peace in the midst of all of that chaos and turbulence. And so it is with all of life. Everything has an eye of the storm, an inner sanctum, a stillness in slow motion, a sacred pause, a vortex of creation. I invoke and dream awake the infinite empowerment of my sexual, spiritual, mental, emotional, and financial relationship with life. I invoke and dream awake sacred sexuality, erotic innocence, and always express the sacredness of sexual force for pleasure, creativity, and healing. I invoke and dream awake world universal healing from all sexual woundedness and shame. If we want to be the most powerful creators that we could be in life, we must make peace with sexuality. It's a pure energy. It's a sacred energy. It's a benevolent energy. And yes, there's a great deal of misuse and abuse and all kind of ways in which the sexual force is used in dark ways. However, none of that will ever be the definition of that energy. And the same energy that makes a baby, the same energy that brings erotic pleasure, is the same energy that manifests a house, manifests a car, manifests a business, manifests an up-leveled expression of our being. It's creation force. Better to have the hots than not. If the loins are on fire, good. If you got big alignment, that's a wonderful thing, because it means that you have big access to creation force. So the wisdom would be not being governed by the force of that sexual drive that is within you, but elevating in consciousness so that you are choosing how that energy flows. You are in the most powerful relationship with sexual energy when it is so harmonious with you that even fiery sexual desire with no outlet to be with another person becomes its own form of fulfillment, because it's reminding you within your body your access to creation force. So we want to be in sacred relationship with that juicify, that alignment, in such a way that we never again will say, oh my God, I'm so turned on in my body, what am I going to do with this energy? But instead we'll say, oh my God, I am so turned on with this fiery energy in my body. How do I be more sacredly present with this energy? You see, it's like not what can you do with the energy, but how are you able to sacredly be with the energy? And then, of course, the doing is a wonderful thing, too, when you do have sacred partnership. But you don't have to have partnership, and you definitely don't want to go into frustration, and you don't want to go into pushing the energy away just because there's no outlet to be physically with another being. Because if you push it away or you push it down, you're pushing away creation force. And we all need that force in order to bring about the manifestation of those things that hold importance for us. Another wonderful thing to give movement to that energy in the body is to pump that PC muscle, which is the Kundalini pump. You know, that's that muscle between the anus and the genitalia, that muscle that you would clench if you had to go to the bathroom and pee, but somebody was in there and it took a long time, you had to go really bad, and you don't want to baptize yourself in an unholy way, so that's the muscle you have to squeeze to hold it until you get your turn in the bathroom. Okay, that's the Kundalini pump. When you squeeze that muscle, it activates Kundalini, which is connected to the reproductive system, and it raises up and begins to open the chakras. You see, and so the pumping of that muscle gives that sexual energy, that fiery force that is within your body, movement to then begin to non-localize itself and to be distributed throughout the whole body, and then you're raised up above the likelihood of frustration. So have sacred use for your juice. Honor your Justafari. Know the sacredness of that energy. See it as a sacred energy not only for yourself, but for everyone else. Even when they're looking at it in a dark way, hold a vision of their redemption and see them rising into a more exalted understanding and exemplification of that energy, so that you then make that deposit within their soul bank that will then accumulate interest until such time that they grow into readiness to withdraw that wonderful blessing that you deposited within their soul bank. thank you for presencing with me, and also this art that I do, this vocal harmonic art. Just about got my Zoom thing together for my audio interface to be able to get that sound quality through nicely, and also to bring several people on. It's going to be a closed class, but so those who are interested in learning that art, it's coming soon. And if you are in fact interested in it, then shoot me a little information as to how to contact you, so that I will definitely give you a heads up in advance when it's time to launch that. It will be a class, Sonic Ascension, and it's going to be a closed class, and it will span anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. I have to listen to Creator as to exactly how long to make that. So thank you all so much for presencing with me. Be in the highest resonance that you can in this full moon energy. Know that all energy is meant to be servant unto your expansion. You're meant to be empowered by everything. Allow the resonance of the full moon, which is also symbolic of the marriage of God, Goddess Absolute. And so let those principles of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, God Absolute, Goddess Absolute, within the inner sanctum of your being, come into divine alignment, and that holy marriage within the inner resonance of your own being. Feel the interconnectedness that you have with every exalted being, every being that is your hero and your shero, and every being that has went to places that you aspire to go to. See those beings as your own self by extension. Link up the telepathic battery cables from your heart-mind to their heart-mind and initiate the soul jumpstart. Always personally jumpstart yourself by virtue of all of the greatness that you bear witness to in the whole of life that you would like to have for yourself. Always admire from oneness and never from separation. It's just like the Master Christ said, those that believe on me, the works that I do, they shall do also, and even greater. Anything that any being can do, every being can do. Not that every being is meant to do precisely the same thing that other beings do, but it is a possibility. And then, of course, when we are in the resonance of the oneness, then we do it through that other being. Like when I first started playing the didgeridoo, and I heard amazing didgeridoo players, I would hear it as me playing. I said, oh my God, what an amazing didgeridoo player I am through that part of me. And I never developed necessarily the exact style of that person, but by owning the mastery that I bore witness to within them, then it brought about an acceleration of my own didgeridoo playing mastery. So remember to check out my website, Astarius.com. I have a great number of musical albums, a couple of books there. I'm also available for intuitive astrological readings, as well as sound healing transmissions with didgeridoo and vocal harmonics. I also graciously receive donations. Thank you all who've been doing that. I've been receiving a lot of really generous donations via Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, as well as the donation button on my website. And my PayPal email is astarius@astarius.com. So thank you all so very much for all of that. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful to be touching so many people. Take advantage of my platforms of Instagram, of Facebook, as well as YouTube. More than 700 videos. Been blessed to touch so many people. Right now, more than 2.9 million views, and I thank Creator so much for that, for making me a catalyst to uplift, so many people. Thank you all for presencing with me and partaking of the things that I offer and create. Be sure and leave all of your comments, and know that many others are greatly blessed by the comments that you leave. Oh my God, there's my dear friend Raina Calvo. It's been a very long time since I saw you, sister. I'm sending you a lot of love. We go way, way, way back. God bless, God bless, God bless. So that's my commercials. I love you so much, and I see you in your greatest exaltation of strength and love and wisdom and power and overcoming and immunity. I see you as being invincible, invisible, and invulnerable to any and all negative things. I love you with the passion of heaven. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself a big hug. Pinch yourself on all four cheeks, top and bottom. Sweet cheekaboo for you, from you.